This is not gonna be what y'all want. I want to hear. Here. So, Sony has been just taking L's left and right. A whole bunch of backlash, whole bunch of drama surrounding a lot of things, but with this whole physical disc thing is like the biggest right now. So in 2028, starting January, in the next 2 years, there will be no physical disc. When they dropped that news, the internet was in uproar. Twitter, YouTube, IGN comments, the YouTube comments, threads. People did not like this. Now, for all the people that are digital, who are used to digital copies, I ain't talking to you. This is for full copy consumers. Now, it's one thing to kind of lean more towards the digital, which they have been, but there's still always a place for physical copy games. You don't want to truly get rid of it, because if you do, which they are, it's going to impact a lot of stores and retailers. It's going to be looking bare in them stores. It already is, but it's going to be looking very dire. GameStop has already kind of apparently made like plan B moves with this, and they say they not gonna get affected with this too much. It's already impacted them in the way that they sell stuff. It's not even a GameStop no more. It might as well be called a merchandise stop, because they sell everything else but games apparently right now. So their backup plan is the trading card space. So this is going to impact a lot of different things. This whole thing is going to just be a butterfly effect in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years to come after this happens. So with all the critiques, all the comments, and I know they've been listening. They've been watching. They've been looking at all these comments saying bring back physical disc. They know that people are angry. So now Sony has finally responded. The PlayStation players angry about PS5 physical disc ending. So let's read this from Vice. Came out maybe 2 days ago. So after weeks of silence, Sony has fully responded to PlayStation players angry about its decision to end PS5 physical production in 2028. During a recent investor meeting, a PlayStation executive said that the company is moving forward with its plan despite complaints from players. Sony is also not worried about physical collectors moving to PC. PlayStation responds to PS5 physical disc backlash, and it's now been a month since Sony announced it is ending physical disc production for both PS5 and PS6 in 2028. Despite the controversial decision sparking massive backlash and calls for boycotts online, PlayStation remained silent for weeks and refused to acknowledge it. So, all this backlash with all these comments, these boycotts, PlayStation was pretending to just ignoring it, act like nothing is happening, and just continue to push out trailers and other stuff like that. So during a July 31st Q&A with shareholders, Sony CFO Lin Tao addressed the physical disc backlash. Her response: PlayStation is moving forward with its plan to end physical disc anyway and doesn't believe the backlash will impact sales. So that statement right there from this Sony CFO, she basically said that no, we are doubling down on no physical disc. Like, y'all can try to boycott, y'all can write down these comments on all our posts. We don't care about none of that, because it's not going to impact sales. People are still going to go and get digital copies. Y'all seen what Call of Duty just did. They gave y'all an old port, no remake, no remastered. just a port from the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 days. They put it on. That thing sold like hotcakes. And that example is why they are talking like this. None of that matters. The sales are still gonna be there. So they said y'all can still talk all that talk. We still gonna do what we need. And that means to make all physical copies void. So Sony stated that so far has not seen any negative impact on sales following the announcement. Does not expect this to change when it takes effect. The company believes the feature is digital for virtually all forms of media. They reiterated that they will proceed cautiously with their plans. I don't know exactly what that means. They will proceed cautiously with their plans. But Sony is apparently taking everything digital now. No media, no physical media, nothing, none of that. Movies, games. So it's getting to a point now where physical media is becoming like a valuable treasure point. So all physical media stuff at a much more higher value than it once was before. So Sony CFO then said that PlayStation is still assessing how to address feedback from players who are unhappy with the decision. The company says it's still figuring out how to respond to the feedback, and that was the thing. We don't work for these companies, people. They work for us. Our wallet moves how they move. Because if you spend money on, say, like, our physical discs and physical copies, and I know with this age, digital is always kind of gonna higher, more of a bigger, as more target, easier for consumers, but there still has to be a lane physical, and for them to just wipe that away, it's like now you're forcing us to get, and you're backing us into a corner where we should be doing the opposite. So we pretty much taking everything that they're giving us. We don't really care. We're not really putting up a fight. Like how I said with the Call of Duty thing, they just gave us support. We just accepted it for what it was. That is giving them more incentive to be like, oh, y'all took this. We just gonna go digital from now on. So if we can finagle y'all, we can play y'all like this. We can play y'all with digital, and y'all will just eat it up. So considering many Sony players are organizing a worldwide boycott all PlayStation products from August 23rd to August 30th, the company might want to figure that out sooner than later. So they need to figure out what we're gonna do to compromise. Because this ain't, if you have angry fans, but y'all are still talking the way y'all talking, doubling down on this, that's not good. But yet and still, the numbers don't lie. They looking more at the numbers and be like, yo, y'all are saying this, but y'all are doing another thing. It ain't adding up. So I did see that I should have pulled this tweet up, but there was a person or a group, I don't know. They wanted to do like a worldwide boycott of all PlayStation products. Now, that sounds great. I'm all for it. I fully support it. Make that change. Y'all can do it. We can do it. But realistically, I don't see a lot of people getting together like this, because people are still gonna deviate from still getting it. We can even fully boycott to certain other places, let alone this. So this sounds good, but realistically, I don't really see this happening. So Sony explains why it announced the end of physical discs so early. Another interesting takeaway from the investor meeting is that Sony revealed why it decided to announce the end of physical discs this far ahead of the PS6. So in another response, Lin Tao explained that Sony wanted to give retailers time to prepare for its move toward a completely digital-only platform. They confirmed the announcement was made early to communicate with retailers. And so now they giving retailers more time to be like, yo, we ending this. Y'all need to figure out a plan B. Y'all need to move accordingly, because there will be no physical media disc anymore. So that's giving them more time to plan out when this stuff does hit the fan. Y'all can plan accordingly. So this subject has already been discussed with North American retailers, and now the same will happen in other regions. So like I said with GameStop, they are already planning on how they can pivot. They going into the trading card business. Pokemon is more relevant than ever. So that's pretty much going to be like their foundation at this point. So this suggests that Sony plans to replace at least some physical games with download codes sold inside retail packages. Just like how they did with Call of Duty. All you giving us is a case with a code. While these products will remain available in stores, players would no longer receive a physical disc that they could lend, resell, or preserve. So none of that. We can't do no hand-me-downs. We can't resell. We can't preserve. We can't do none of that. So Sony isn't worried about physical players moving to PC. Now finally, Sony argued that it isn't worried about losing physical disc players to PC because consoles are significantly cheaper. Ouch. For now, Sony appears committed to ending PlayStation physical disc production in 2028, despite the growing backlash. Although the company says it is still considering how to address feedback, its latest comments make it clear that reversing the decision is not currently part of the plan. With players now organizing boycotts and voicing concerns about gaming ownership, preservation, and resale, the controversy is unlikely to disappear anytime soon. Oh yeah, this is not going nowhere. People are not going to give in. It's still going to be the talk of the town. It's still going to continue. Sony may not expect the backlash to hurt PlayStation sales, but the real test will come when its digital-only plans take effect in 2028. We're going to see who is real and who fake come 2028. That date, January, in the next 2 years hits. It's gonna come down to who's really gonna be getting this PS. Who's really gonna be playing these digital only games. Got 2 years. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there will be a change. Realistically, they said it ain't affecting sales, and if it's not affecting the sales, they can continue what they've been doing. So, let me know what y'all think about that.